I hate making YouTube videos. Not the filming, not the editing. It's the part where you have to trick people into clicking on your video. Hooks, titles, thumbnail, A/B testing, it's all, pick me, hey. And after doing this for 2 years, starting the channel, making videos, getting monetized in under 18 months, and then slowly fizzling out, I realized something. I don't actually enjoy the process. So I'm changing it. Lately, I feel like everyone on my YouTube algorithm is telling me what to do. Do this for a six-pack, give me 5 minutes and I'll make you jizz, try this lizard leg workout. And it's not that these people are fake. Some of those things actually work. I jizzed in 5 minutes. It's just that everyone is competing for attention, so everyone ends up using the same formulas. Same titles, same thumbnails, same structure. Find a video that works for you and make your version of it, put your own spin on it. You are unique, and I know I am unique. I'm fucking hilarious and hot. And I fell into that as well, and I do not like me when I do that. And it's not about being original. I don't think that anything's original. It's not that. It's more the whole struggling to get people's attention, which I know that's the whole point of marketing yourself. I just don't like it. One of the things I don't like about this is that I don't want to tell people what to do. I kind of feel like an imposter. Imposter? I don't even know her. Even though realistically, I do know what I'm talking about, and I am in a position to teach people and to show them how to do lighting and camera stuff. But something about standing here and saying, hey, here's what you should do to get perfect lighting just doesn't sit right with me. What I do enjoy is showing people how I do a thing. That feels honest. So yeah, after 2 years of inconsistently posting YouTube videos, I kind of thought that I wanted to quit. And that sounds like classic ADHD. I start something, I get obsessed, I do it for a while, and then I drop it. Yes, but also, yes, that is what's happening, but I'm pushing through it. I decided not to quit. I'm just changing direction. And before I do that, here are 5 lessons I've learned from starting, monetizing, and almost quitting a YouTube channel. Lesson 1, keep it simple. Keep it simple. My first batch of YouTube videos took 192 hours. Yes, I time tracked. And yeah, the videos looked good. I'm very proud of them. But most of the time spent wasn't about improving the quality of the video. It was mostly fiddling with lights and tweaking different things because I had this constant feeling that it's not good enough, and if it's not good enough, it means that I'm not good enough. Some people would say, oh, that's because you're a perfectionist. Well, my therapist would say it's shame. Because I have this problem where I attach my self-worth to my output, and if the video isn't perfect, then that means something is wrong with me because I have to be perfect at all times. And all of this is deeply internalized rubbish that I am working on in therapy. So now when I start fiddling with the lighting or changing different things, I'm gonna ask myself, does this actually make the video better, or am I just trying to fix the way I feel about myself? And usually it's the second part. So whenever I'm in a situation like this, I am going to stop and move on to the next step and trust that I will feel better about myself when I meet the love of my life who will complete me, validate me, and make all my problems go away. Lesson number 2, if it feels wrong, it probably is. Right from the beginning, I knew what I didn't like. Hooks, titles, thumbnails, rimming, all the things designed to get people to click. And I kept telling myself that I would get used to it. But I hate trying to convince people to watch my video. I don't know, maybe it's a self-worth thing. I don't mind doing the work. I like making thumbnails. I don't mind that. I just don't like the energy behind it. It feels like begging, and I already do enough of that on Grindr. So moving forward, the thumbnail is gonna be a screenshot and a sentence. And the title will be whatever makes sense. No more engineering emotions and no more strategy. If people click, then they click. If they don't, they have bad taste and they're ugly, and that's okay. Just kidding. Just not everyone has to be a successful YouTuber. If this is gonna work, then it's gonna work. And if it's not gonna work, I wanna find a way to have fun with it. So that means not doing the things that I don't like. Lesson number 3, no shortcuts. Right after getting monetized, people started reaching out to me. Hi, we've noticed your channel. You're doing great, sweetie. We can help you grow it. We can help you get more views and grow your audience by optimizing your titles. And because I didn't like doing the titles. At one point I was like, you know what? How much? $50 for 3 titles? Okay, cool. Knock yourself out. Go for it. So I gave the person access to my YouTube studio. Very stupid. Really stupid. And the person changed the titles of my most recent 3 YouTube videos. And it worked. Like, I got 3 or 4 times more views than I would have gotten for those videos, and it was great. I was like, okay, these titles look very generic. They look like ChatGPT, but if they work, they work. And then I was like, hey, they're working a little bit too well. So I went into my YouTube studio and I realized that the person had used the $50 that I paid him to boost these 3 videos. So the thousands of views that I was getting were not organic. So I was pleased because I got more views, and the next step was that I would pay him 300 euros to do more videos. So I told him to fuck off, but the damage was already done. None of my next videos performed well at all, because apparently when you boost videos on YouTube, lots of different people see the video, and those people are probably not interested in your video, so they're only gonna watch like 5 seconds of it and then they will click off, and this makes your video fall in ranking. Those videos were so far down in YouTube search, lower than any of my videos had ever been, lower than my self-esteem in high school, lower than my confidence in the men's room in winter. It's cold, things shrink. But you're Nigerian. I'm only half Nigerian. So the lesson that I've learned is, if I'm tempted to take a shortcut, it means that I have some sort of resentment against the process. And if I'm not enjoying the process, what is the point? Because it's all about finding joy in the journey, not the destination. You know, sucking is not about getting in your mouth. Sucking is about sucking. Getting in your mouth signals the end, and if it's only 5 minutes, then that is sad. Lesson number 4, keep the ball rolling. When AI videos started becoming a thing with Sora, it kind of messed me up. Not because I'm scared of it, I'm actually quite excited at the possibilities of, you know, the things we can do. There are no limits. But it did make me question everything. You know, why bother building a business where I try to teach people how to make videos when we're just about to get a whole avalanche of AI tools that will do so much in the video making process that what I'm teaching may not be that useful. I mean, I like lighting and I enjoy teaching about lighting, but you can kind of already relight a scene in DaVinci. It's not great, I wouldn't use it professionally, but it is possible. So what is gonna happen in 3-4 years? So the thing is, I feel that manual video production might be a shrinking market. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably just caught up in the hype. Either way, all of this was enough to slow me down. And I have been stuck for 8 months because things happened, life happened, and I was busy, and I kept putting off getting back to making YouTube for, you know, reasons. But I think the truth was that I was just afraid that there was no point to it anymore. And this should have been 8 weeks and not 8 months. Now, coming out on the other side, I don't believe that AI is gonna take my job or, like, you know, take my business. I do believe that someone using AI will take my business, and I fully intend to be that person who takes my job. I will take my own job. I will take it away. I will take it away like taking baby from a candy. So the lesson is, there's always a way forward. And I always know what I want, even when I don't know what I want. So when I get discouraged, I need to learn how to get that ball rolling faster. You know, a shorter refraction time. Boom, boom, drink some water, get hard again, destroy that ass, just keep going. Who said that? Lesson number 5, post and ghost. No, post and move on. In the first decade of my career, when I was making mostly music videos, I could not rewatch my stuff. I just couldn't stand looking at the videos that I had made, because all I saw was how it could have been better and what mistakes I made and what I should have done, and it just filled me with regret. But now I can look at them and appreciate where I was and what I could do, and I'm quite proud of myself. Enough time has gone by that that's possible, and I was kind of expecting that the same thing would happen to my YouTube videos, and it didn't. Something changed. I'm able to post a video and then just let go of it. It's not like letting go and not wanting to see it for a long time. I can watch it like a week later and be like, oh, that's cute, because I'm fucking hilarious and hot. Now that is something I'm really glad that I seem to have learned, because it helps me move on to the next video and not dwell on the fact that I didn't do everything perfect in the last ones. So now the next step is to apply this lesson to the analytics part of YouTube, because I cannot seem to detach from that. Whenever I put a video up, I'm constantly checking to see how many views. Is it a 1 of 10? Is it a 10 of 10? And then doubting the title, tweaking the thumbnail, all the things that I don't like. I would really like to let go of that. And also, you know, no more thinking, is this the one? Is this that video that goes viral and makes me a thing? It's very tiring. It's exhausting. I don't want to chase numbers. I just want to focus on making videos that I enjoy making and which hopefully bring value to some people. So yeah, I'm giving this one more shot. I'm not necessarily gonna keep teaching lighting. I'm definitely not going to tell people what to do. I'm just gonna talk about what I've learned and what has worked for me for, you know, my 40 years on this planet. Yes, I'm 40. Black don't crack, beige don't age. Honey, I have been around the block has been in me. It's a whole thing. So the truth is, I am in a very good place in my life right now. I don't feel the need to struggle anymore. Things have just fallen into place. But I kind of seem to have lost the drive and ambition to, you know, be more, which I feel is a good thing, because it's no longer coming from a place of I am not enough, so I have to do something big. Now that problem is in the process of being healed, I'm trying to access some sort of drive or motivation that comes from a place of wanting to be of service with what I've learned, the lessons that I have accumulated. So I'm basically just going to do what I feel like doing, and that's just gonna have to be good enough.